The 76ers just concluded another disappointing season as after they claimed the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference and it finally looked like the year where the process would be completed, their journey to the top of the mountain would end in a second round defeat yet again. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about what's next for Philadelphia and what they should do in the 2021 offseason. Before we get started though, make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed, as it really does help out the channel, and also make sure to subscribe if you guys are new and enjoy this type of content so you don't miss out on any new videos like this. Plus, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and once we hit our goal, I'm finally gonna do a face reveal. But with that being said, let's get this video started. Now, getting to their needs, they don't have a crap ton of needs in my opinion, but they definitely could use like a little bit better perimeter shot creation. But aside from that, not a lot of needs I can really think of for the 76ers. I mean, they did claim the 1 seed for a reason. They are a damn good team, I have to say that. And as for their important free agents, really Dwight Howard and Danny Green are the only 2 important free agents you got. And I mean, that is nice since you don't have to worry about too many guys, you know, in this year's free agency. And as for the guys who I'd bring back, I mean, I'd try and bring back at least one of them. Dwight Howard, he's one of the best backup centers in the NBA, and Danny Green, he fits your system very well and is a really good 3-and-D, wing. Yeah, he's a pretty good 3-and-D player. And I mean, you can never have too many of those in today's NBA. I mean, Dwight Howard, I think he'll be kind of pricey, but not extremely expensive. And Danny Green, he should be pretty cheap, but I'd definitely try and bring back at least one of them. Personally, I'd bring back Dwight Howard over Danny Green if I had to choose. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say for the important free agents. But let's address the elephant in the room, the Ben Simmons situation. I mean, you guys saw it in the title. You guys know what I think about it already. The 76ers have to trade Ben Simmons. This guy in the Atlanta Hawks series in which you lost, he was an offensive liability on the court despite the head coaching change. And I mean, many people thought when the 76ers hired Doc Rivers, Ben Simmons would finally start developing a jump shot. But as we know, that did not exactly happen. And I mean, Ben Simmons at this point has gotten too many chances. I'm a fan of giving people second chances. I really am, but Ben Simmons has gotten too many chances at this point, and I don't know if he can really, I really just don't know if he can be salvaged on Philadelphia, and I think he really does need a change of scenery. Now, if this was at the beginning of the season, it would be kind of a debate on who you'd trade, Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons, but I think after the season, it's really clear who you should trade, and that, of course, is Ben Simmons. He simply just does not fit well with Joel Embiid, and I mean, it doesn't really look too bright. I mean, his future with the 76ers doesn't look too bright, and I just don't know if he will develop a jump shot on Philadelphia. Now, there are some downsides to this, like, you know, to trading him, like losing his defense and his playmaking, but you can definitely make up for it with other guys. Now, getting into some potential Ben Simmons trades, one trade I came up with was Ben Simmons to Portland, and in this trade, the Trailblazers would get Ben Simmons, George Hill, and a 2021 second-round pick, and the 76ers would get CJ McCollum, Robert Covington, a 2022 first-round pick, and a 2022 second-round pick. Now, Portland did get a great defensive player and a good backup point guard in this trade, plus a second-round pick. Ben Simmons, I think he would fit great on Portland, given the fact that they have pretty good spacing, and he can play the 3 or the 4, and that's going to help him out a lot. And Yusuf Nurkic, he might be like a little bit of an issue since he's not a fantastic 3-point shooter, but if he can be an alright 3-point shooter, that would be really nice for Ben Simmons and the Portland Trailblazers. And Ben Simmons, he's going to help improve the Trailblazers defense a lot. He's a far better defender than CJ McCollum, alright? We can all agree on that. No matter how much you hate Ben Simmons, we can all agree Ben Simmons is a much better defender than CJ McCollum, and Portland could really use some help on defense. And along with that, you know, breaking that down the 76ers side of things, if this trade were to go down, CJ McCollum, he's a pretty good offensive guard, and he's a pretty good shot creator, so he can definitely help, you know, fill your needs when it comes to the shot creation department. And Robert Covington, he is a really good 3-and-D wing, and I mean, you can always use a 3-and-D wing on a championship level team, and plus you get some nice draft picks. The only issue is that now your playmaking is just not very good, but that can be solved with the development of Tyrese Maxey if you really are comfortable enough, if you guys are comfortable with, you know, starting him. But if you aren't, then you can always try and pick up someone in free agency. Another trade I thought of was Ben Simmons to the Indiana Pacers, and in this, the Indiana Pacers would get Ben Simmons, and the 76ers would receive Malcolm Brogdon, Jeremy Lamb, and a 2022 first-round pick. Now, maybe you make that like a first-round pick later than 2022, but getting to my thoughts on this trade if this were to go down, the Pacers, they get a young star who, and although Sabonis does like to dominate the paint, he can shoot well, and Indiana, it's an alright place for Ben Simmons, and the 76ers could use like another like young star that does have a lot of potential, since Indiana, they kind of are in the purgatory where they're just not good enough to really win a championship, but at the same time they aren't so bad to the point where they can really tank. So Ben Simmons, he does have a lot of potential, and maybe Rick Carlisle can get Ben Simmons to develop a jump shot, but then again, we kind of hope for that when Doc Rivers was hired, but maybe Rick Carlisle can do it. But anyways, Philadelphia, on the other hand, they get Malcolm Brogdon, who's a solid all-around guard. He can shoot, he can score, he can play make, and he's also a pretty good defensive player, so that's nice. And Jeremy Lamb, he's a pretty good role player, plus you got a first-round pick, but that's kind of all I have to say for this trade. And then we got another trade, and that is Ben Simmons to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota apparently is really interested in Ben, but getting to the trade, the Timberwolves will receive Ben Simmons, and Philadelphia will receive D'Angelo Russell, Jake Layman, and a 2023 first-round pick. Minnesota, as I said before, they're really interested in Ben Simmons, and I think he'd be an alright fit. He's a fantastic defensive player, and the Timberwolves could use some help defensively. Now, losing D'Lo will suck, considering the fact that he is good friends with Karl Anthony Towns. He's a pretty good offensive player, no denying he's better on offense than Ben Simmons is, but Ben Simmons wouldn't be a terrible fit since he does have pretty good spacing, and as I said before, maybe him being traded will cause him to, finally start, developing a jump shot, and maybe this series is gonna be a wake-up call to him, like, hey, I think I should probably start developing a jump shot. But he would definitely improve their defense, as I said before, and Minnesota could use some help in that department. And then the 76ers side of things, D'Angelo Russell is a good offensive guard, and although he's pretty bad defensively, you can probably try and pick up guys, in the offseason to, cover for him on that end. Plus, you get some depth and you get a first-round pick. But overall, that's all I have to say for Ben Simmons trades. I also do want to mention one more thing about the Ben Simmons saga before we go to the next topic, and that is like sign and trade for Kyle Lowry, in which you maybe involve Ben Simmons, or a sign and trade for Kyle Lowry. I guess this kind of has to do with Ben Simmons, but I think a sign and trade for Kyle Lowry would be a really good move, especially if you do trade Ben Simmons, but you can't get a good playmaking guard. So, Kyle Lowry is definitely a guy you should probably try and target if you are the Philadelphia 76ers. He's an all-star level point guard. He's a solid all-around player, and he's also a great veteran leader, and I think would really help this 76ers locker room. But getting to the next topic, it is Doc Rivers. Philadelphia, fire Doc Rivers. Now, to his credit, he's an okay coach, but if I had $1 for every time this man choked in the postseason, I'd be a billionaire, alright? Doc Rivers just cannot be a coach on a championship level team. He does not make adjustments, and you simply can't have your coach, you simply can't have him as your head coach if you want to hoist a Larry O'Brien trophy. He proved yet again that he just can't make adjustments in the playoffs, and there are some, I think you should probably try and get a better coach on the market, alright? Now, I'm not totally sure who you'd get, since I'm not the biggest nerd when it comes to NBA coaches, but Doc Rivers, all I can say is that he's just not the right coach for this team, and I just don't think he can win, I just don't think you can win a championship with Doc Rivers, alright? Now, he probably does know more when it comes to, coaching a team than I do, I will say that, but Doc Rivers, he's just not a very good coach, and simply put, you gotta fire him. But aside from that, the Philadelphia 76ers, they are a really good team. They got Joel Embiid at the helm, they got a near all-star level in Tobias Harris, plus they got Ben Simmons for now, and a collection of good role players, but they do definitely have some big decisions to make in the offseason, and I personally think they should trade Ben Simmons and should definitely try and bring back their important guys and, just really, for the most part, run it back, but also make some improvements to this team and trade Ben Simmons and fire Doc Rivers and get a better coach. But with that being said, that's kind of all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really does mean a lot to me. If you guys are new, like the video if you enjoyed, as it really does help out the channel. And as I was saying before, if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, as if you guys want to see more content like this, so you don't miss out on any new videos like this. Plus, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and once we hit our goal, I'm finally gonna do a face reveal. But with that being said, I'm out, you guys.